Long Shot is directed by Jonathan Levine and stars Seth Rogen as Fred Flarsky, who is a man who reunites with his first crush, one of the most influential women in the world, Charlotte Field. He charms her as she prepares to make a run for the presidency, and Charlotte hires Fred as her speechwriter, and from then, sparks fly. First off, I think Seth Rogen is really good in this movie. He's really funny. I'm a big Seth Rogen fan. I think that he really does a good job of just doing these really hilarious, really good character moments that he was really strong at. I feel like if you're a fan of him in his more kind of typical generic comedy roles, not like some of his more outlandish stuff like Sausage Party and This Is the End, but some of his more conventional stuff, then you'll definitely like it here, because his humour is a lot more grounded, it's a lot more realised, and I think that makes it obviously a lot more relatable for the audience, and I think Seth Rogen did a really good job with that, and just his character, Fred Flarsky, is a lot more of a relatable character than a lot of the other characters that he tends to play in these comedy films. And I don't really need to say anything about Charlize Theron. You all know how good she is. She's fantastic in pretty much everything she does, and she is once again great in this movie as well. I'm a big fan of Charlize Theron at this point. She's really proven herself as a strong comedic actress at this point too, and this movie as well with Long Shot, same thing. And I think that her and Seth Rogen as well together, their charisma, their chemistry, they work really well together. They're a good pair, and I think that them being put together in this movie was definitely a strong decision. And the writing and the humour, all top notch in this movie. It's a very funny movie, very hysterical. I was laughing out loud at many different points, not only due to just the mannerisms of the characters, and obviously because of Seth Rogen and things like that, but also I think the script is really funny. Like, it's got a lot of great lines in there, a lot of really funny moments that will definitely have you laughing out loud like I did. Like I say, this movie really had a lot of great moments like that within. I do have a couple of negatives for Long Shot though. For one, it is super predictable. Like, this is one of the most predictable rom-coms you'll ever see. It's very typical. It's not run-of-the-mill. I feel like that's a bit of a negative connotation sentence, but you get what I'm saying. It's a very predictable, you know exactly where the story's going. You're following along in the movie. You know exactly what the next sort of, beat is, and you know where it's going to end up. It's just one of those type of things that you have to deal with. And again, it's not necessarily a negative. Cliches become cliches for a reason, but it's just, it's very predictable, and, you're not going to be surprised by anything in this movie. And also, I would say that Long Shot is slightly too long. I probably could have shaved off around 15 minutes. This movie racks in, I believe, 2 hours, 5 minutes, which does seem a bit long for a comedy. It's not bearably long. It's not one of those things where you're just you're dying for the movie to end. You're definitely going to enjoy it. This movie is very easygoing. It's very chilled, and you can just sit back and relax and enjoy it. But I feel like, for a comedy, being 2 hours and 5 minutes, especially there's a particular part of this movie which definitely comes over that predictable part that I mentioned before, that definitely could have been taken out, really, just because it's one of those things that, like I say, you know where it's going, and it doesn't necessarily need to be in there. And I think if you would have got rid of that little beat, that would have shaved off about 15 minutes of the movie, which would have made it seem a bit more concise overall. Overall, though, I really enjoyed Long Shot. It's one of the best films I've seen this year, to be honest. It's really funny. It's really relatable. It's just a really nice, easygoing comedy. If that's what you're looking for, you will definitely find that here. It's just a really strong film, and I definitely recommend it. It comes out today here in the UK, so I definitely recommend you go see it. If you have not, it's one of the best movies out at the moment, so make sure you go check it out, unless you're going to go watch Endgame for the umpteenth time, which I'm sure a lot of you will be. But if you're not, definitely give this one a shot. So have you guys seen Long Shot? If you have, make sure you let me know all your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's have a conversation about this review in the comment section down below. Or, that's wrong. Let's have a conversation about this movie in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, if you want to see more movie reviews from me, be sure to subscribe. And I hope to see you guys again in my next video.